What should I know about Veritasium?
It was under the blood moon. I felt my heart come. I held you in this strange light, a place where shadows.
So basically, I'm looking to tie the entire world through Veritasium. Greetings all, Reggie Middleton back. I'm going to do shorter clips and do some current event overview. Not as a news provider, definitely don't want to compete with them, but I want to give my perspective on events because things are unfolding as I anticipated they would, and this plays in very closely with the plans that I have for the Veritasium properties going forward. Number one, discussing China. China is cracking down on crypto, which is actually very, very bullish for China on crypto. The media is making it seem as if China is anti-crypto. China is going all out, all in, all out, depending on how you want to phrase it, in crypto. What they're doing is China is eliminating private branded crypto. So private crypto is out, chasing out the Bitcoin miners, chasing out the exchanges, chasing out stable coins and individual or non-state owned crypto. And they're doing it just in time to make room for, guess what? The Chinese public branded crypto, which is the e-yen. No, so the e-yuan. Sorry about that, China made you Japanese. The e-yuan. They're putting a lot of resources and a lot of effort into trying to get this right, and they're doing this to try and gain independence from the petrodollar, the U.S. reserve currency. Whether they succeed or not is honestly has very little to do with China because China is going to go at maximum speed. China's success in this is wholly dependent on the U.S.'s willingness to stumble. As you may know, I'm not a big fan of certain regulatory bodies and how they go about enforcing things in the U.S. Some of it is a bit too draconian and has chased many a private key, much of the intellectual capital and the entrepreneurs offshore, and a lot of the business opportunities that would normally gravitate to the largest economy in the world. The U.S. is in significant competition with China. Some may characterize it as a war. I wouldn't go that far, but it is definitely an extreme competition. And under the auspices of regulation, they are making the U.S. much, much less competitive. There is a way to regulate without being unfair. We leave that alone, moving forward. China is taking a draconian stance as well, pushing out private branded crypto. But the U.S. has, of course, more private branded crypto than China because China is approaching zero tolerance state. So, Coinbase's loss, I'm sorry, I gave away the cookies. Binance's loss, who is soon to be, was the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, is Coinbase's gain. Coinbase went the fully regulated route, okay? And in doing that, they work with regulators, where I don't know what Binance did, and I'm sure Binance tried because they hired an ex-senator as a lobbyist. But as the news announced that Binance was being excluded from UK markets, Chinese markets, which Coinbase didn't replace, and Japanese markets, Coinbase came in and got authority to work in the UK and a license in Japan, the Japanese authority. I don't think Coinbase is going to get a Chinese exchange. I think China is going to go full lockdown on private third parties. They're even clamping down on their own fintech sector, their organic national Chinese fintech center. So we'll see how that works out. But I wouldn't hold my breath on Coinbase getting a Chinese license. But Japan is most likely the second largest crypto market in the world, more so than Europe. Out of the 44 countries that would be considered the European crypto market. That's 44 countries. They have roughly 17% of the trading activity. Japan, that one lone island nation state, has 16%. And that's using, if I'm not mistaken, 2019 numbers. Okay? Japan is a very strategic place to have operations. And luckily, Japan is a place where we have patented IP for DeFi as well. So I'm very bullish on Japan, and apparently I'm not the only one. So anticipate Coinbase overcoming Binance. And U.S. regulators have taken BitMEX down quite a few notches, where BitMEX had the most volume on a notional amount for traded Bitcoin contracts. You know, BitMEX has fallen way down. Binance took up a lot of slack, but you have Bybit, which was also excluded from Canada, as was, if I'm not mistaken, Binance. And regulators are basically clearing the field. Long story short, those with connections, lobbying connections, political connections, venture capital connections, basically the old boys network, are doing what the members of that club always do. Okay, and they are taking over. And those who weren't members of the club or came from the outside are doing what those who were always excluded from that club or chose not to be in that club, you know, how they historically perform. There are no surprises here. A lot of the competition is on the IP side, as I said. I've been saying that since 2014 and 2015. I'm going to start regurgitating the old videos from 2014, 15, and 16 in terms of the pending IP race. Now stuff gets real, and as a lot of people are competing in jurisdictions and in technology doing coding, which gets very resource intensive, those who put the time into the IP early on and attempted to protect it and succeeded, you're going to see significant advantages. Okay, and that's why with Binance in Japan, I was actually happy they're in Japan. I was actually slightly dejected when I found that they moved out of Japan, but they're being replaced with Coinbase, and I think there's opportunity there for us as well. Okay, so when you look at China, okay, it's not bad news for crypto, it's good news for crypto. It's just bad news for a private brand of crypto. Now, the Chinese public crypto, okay, the yuan, is to be ported and branched to public and permissionless blockchains. At least that's what the Blockchain Association said in their marketing material, the Chinese Blockchain Association. I think it's called the BSN, but I'm not sure. So that would be interesting. Okay, China essentially is not doing anything that all the other entities aren't doing. Japan is cleaning house. You know, that's how Binance got to exit. Japan is not as draconian as China. Japan is allowing their licensed and authorized exchanges to flourish, and that will give it both control but some entrepreneurial spirit. And Japan is a wonderful place, I believe, haven't been there yet, to do business in crypto. From the outside looking in, it looks wonderful. The U.S. is also cleaning house. Expect the U.S. to crack down on Binance. They've already cracked down on BitMEX hard, very hard, and expect them to clean house in other places as well. All in all, to make room for the U.S. public branded crypto. Okay, so stablecoins have been threatened by members of the establishment in the U.S., calling Tether a risk to the financial establishment, etc. The stablecoin of choice in most sovereign nations will be their central bank digital currency. That's a guarantee. You're going to see competition between public stablecoins and private stablecoins. The public stablecoins, CBDCs, private stablecoins would be the Tethers, etc. The CBDC, the private stablecoins that come from those within the club, may have had enough interaction with regulators where they may be allowed to exist. We shall see. If that happens, I would think that Circle and the USDC would be a prime example of that, or any of the cryptocurrency companies that have a bank charter, okay, or a trust charter. Interesting to say the least. Hopefully, we'd like to take advantage of all of it, no matter how it happens. As long as it's in the realm of DeFi, I feel we're strongly positioned. But time will tell, and we shall see.